Hey everybody, welcome. I hope you're well. This is going to be a long video where I'm going to go into building a bass, a Psytrance bass and kick sound using the Malletkat. I'm going to do it kind of like a standard MIDI way and then with my Malletkat, so you can hear the difference between the sort of more human way of doing it versus the computer way. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but it's really interesting to me how different they can be and how the groove can really be different. So I've got my lovely daughter Sienna Rain running the camera, and we're going to get started. And I'm using Cubase, so hopefully this will be a good Cubase tutorial as well. We're starting from scratch here. So check it out. So we're going to go ahead and, so first thing I'm going to do is create the kick. So I'm going to start, there we go. I really like Sonic Academy's Kick 2. That's a great synth. It does samples and synths and all that, but we're going to just kind of use this Psytrance 2, which is their factory kit. We're going to build up a 4-bar loop here with the kick. Oops, let me see. Those were at quarter notes. Yes, we got to get them at quarter notes. Maybe I'll get this up here. Sorry, I'm doing this off of the screen that I'm recording. So, okay, so here's our... So there's our kick. I'm not going to worry about any processing stuff right now because we're going to just do this quick, right? So here's the kick, and then now I'm going to create a MIDI track for the bass. So here we'll call this Midi Bass. So same deal, except now we're going to go to 16th notes. So Sienna, show them this down here on the screen. So I created a macro. I actually got this from Nate Robenheimer of Protoculture, where he does, and now I do. I set my quantization here, so I've got like whole notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and then I do this to set my snap on and off. So anyway, just a fast way of kind of like setting the grid here. So I've got the 16th note grid, and I'm going to just do a real typical, oh, you know what, let me show you this way by something I just learned that I really like. Because what happens a lot in Cubase is if you want to do, like, if I do this, right, like 3 16th notes, and then if I want to duplicate it, bam, it just duplicates it without the space. So a lot of times people will do something like this and kind of create a dummy clip and then do that, you know, and then delete the dummy clip in order to maintain that space, and that works fine. Let me show you another way that I just saw Greg Ondo do. So you can do edit in place here, and that brings that up, right? And then if I zoom way in, I'm on my 16th note grid, and so I'm going to put my first one there, and I've got the 3, and then I can switch to the range tool, and then range select, and it does it in the range. So that's kind of neat. I never knew that. So that keeps those spaces there by doing edit in place. All right, so there's our bass right now. So I'm going to send this out to my Yamaha, which is over here, the TX81Z. I've got it set to the lately bass. That's our just standard Psytrance bass sound, right? So let's get this playing. Okay, so it's sending the MIDI, but it's not coming back. So I need to add the audio track. So this is going to be the Yamaha audio. So we've created our Yamaha audio. I'm running through this fast, but because it's going to be long. So here's I set my input for the Yamaha, so now if I monitor that, we can hear it. Obviously that doesn't sound like Psytrance because it's super high pitch. So let's bring this down. Bring it way down. All right, so there's that. So I'm gonna, EQ it a little bit, or not EQ, but just get the mix. So that's our like super fast, just down and dirty computer way of getting that. So we can record this now. Yeah, so I'm going to turn off the loop. I hit record, and here we go. I could be monitoring it if I want, but I don't need to because it's so short. Okay, so there. So now this is the actual audio. So I can mute this MIDI. So this is the audio coming in. So let me, I'm going to bump up the gain a little bit. Turn my loop back on. All right, so this is the audio out of the Yamaha. Just straight up now, we can process it as audio. All right, there's our computer. So now I'm gonna just quickly, so I called this computer up, meaning the MIDI notes are all only on the upbeats, right? There's no, what is that showing me? Oh, I've got the kick selected. It's only on the upbeats without the bass on the downbeat. Another real common pattern that people do. Let me just duplicate this. And now if I just select all of these, and then if you look down here, Sienna, you know, one of the nice key commands, you do control and then arrow. Oops, wait, what did I, no, command. Command arrow. And then you'll see that this has now just shifted everything over. So command arrow kind of does that, right? So now we're doing more like the Saba beat. So let me take this note, put it right there. So this is like Saba. Oops, let me unmute it and monitor. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of hear the difference between those two beats if we just loop them both. First one is more of a typical Psytrance, second is Saba. Definitely a different feel, but you know, depends on what you want, right? Okay, so now we're going to do the fun. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff here. So I'm going to transfer over the kick, and so this is going to be the human. Now I'm actually going to go over here to the human Saba, because Saba, as a human, it's so much easier to play Saba than just all upbeats, and I'll show you how to kind of account for that. So check out what I've got going on over here. So we've got the Malletkat, right? And so the Malletkat, I have sending the MIDI out of the Malletkat into my MIDI device here, the iConnect. And then this is pretty sweet because you can really route things interestingly. So I have the MIDI coming into here, and it goes out into Cubase to record if I want. But it also goes out to the Yamaha to give the sound. So in other words, long story short, the Malletkat can control the sound of that Yamaha kick bass. So, but what I'm going to do, because you get a slight amount of latency by listening to the Yamaha, especially at this fast, we're at 140 BPM. So there's going to be enough latency that it's going to throw me off. So I'm going to just mute the Yamaha so I'm not hearing it. So when I play the Malletkat, I won't hear the bass, but I'm going to hear the kick, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the Malletkat's MIDI output into the MIDI channel here, right? All right, so, oops. So let's get this happening over here. And we should be, yeah, so if you look over there, there's the MIDI right there. So now I'm gonna record this bass line. Great. So I recorded a few different takes of it. So now let's open up the lanes on this guy and see what we got. So we've got several lanes. So if you caught it, you're noticing that I did two notes there. And why did I did it? I did that because the Malletkat's not picking up these fast 16th notes fast enough. So I found if I do E, D, E, I can pick up the speed of those 16th notes. So what I do is I just, looks like I do have one little long overlapping note. Gonna just delete that to clear that. So what I do now is I just grab these, put them up to the E. Now, check it out. Maybe kind of look down here on the keyboard, Sienna. I've got some nice shortcuts, some key commands that are set. So if I do Command Q, that's going to quantize. Oops, I'm sorry. It's not Command Q. Let me unmute this. Get back in there. Okay, it's Control Q. So Control Q just quantized it to 16th notes, and then I set up Control L, and then that creates the lengths there. So now it's just really tightened that all up. And then, you occasionally get something dropped out, like looks like right here I got some little weird thing going on. And a doubled up note. So let's see here. You can get in there, you can select all and delete doubles. If you go, we're done on this on the keyboard now, so you can kind of maybe pull back and show me. So delete doubles. So if I had any doubles in there, I've got them deleted. So now I kind of look in here just really quickly and clean up any kind of nastiness that I see. It's just right there. I've got that one. So let me just kind of empty this one. And then that one. So let me go ahead and just empty that, because those two bars aren't perfect. And then this one has that, so I'm going to empty that. So something I like is I'll just kind of select these, Alt, drag them over, so you copied it. I'll just randomly select a couple different spots. Maybe this one. So, we have some duplication, but it's random, so you can't really tell. So check out the difference. Look at this beautiful difference of the velocity that's happening compared to our computer generated velocity is straight. And if you can get in there and mess with it for sure, but it's just so fast, to do it this way. So let's listen real quick. We're going to need to drop it down 2 octaves, and then we're going to need to monitor the Yamaha. So let's listen. So what's happening is it's got a really high high velocity on this one point, so I'm going to drag that up. So let me select all of these, bring this velocity down just a hair. Oh yeah, it's because we have this latency compensation on. It's kind of screwing it up. So we turn that out, that'll help. So let's record this, and it's going to sound a lot better when it's recorded. Okay, so trim this up. Alrighty. So there's our human version of Saba. Okay, before I compare it, I want to just quickly show you this. I think this is going to be the gold of this video right here. So check it out. We're in our Midi editor of the one that we just did. So I've got a little, let me slide this up so you can see everything. All right, so I created a Midi Logical Editor preset, and here it is. So this selects all the notes on the downbeat, right? So if you're not familiar with the Midi Logical Editor, it's amazing, it's powerful, it's super cool. You can have, like I use this a lot of times to delete notes off of that are on the downbeat. And so this thing here will select each note on the downbeat of 4 measures. And then down here, it can be delete. You can do all sorts of things, right? But I have select. So if I just hit apply, it's going to select the downbeat right there, you see? And then now I do that, remember, so show down here, Sienna. And then I do my little thing, control, arrow, Is it Command arrow? I always miss that one. And so I've now shifted the downbeat over 1. So that's just a super fast way of doing that. So like, you know, if I just, when I'm like on my own, you know, I mean, it's just so fast. I can select or I open up the thing, go to the Logical Editor, hit apply, and then hit Command arrow, and I'm done. So there, I've just created a new thing here. So let me actually back up on that, because I want to bring this over here and do it here. So we're going to do that again. Logical Editor, apply, move it. Okay, done. So we've now created that new feel. So let's see. Monitor. So let's record this because it'll sound better. Alrighty, so clear that out, pump it up a little bit, mute them there, and play back. Hear that sort of humanness that it's making here. So to me, this is like the beauty of the human aspect of it. So let's do that. I see we didn't record the audio of this computer Saba one, so let's do that super fast, and then we're going to just compare them all. Okay, so let me make sure that's trimmed out. Delete that. Okay, so now we should have all the audio, and I am going to go ahead and match the volume of it all. 10.82. So that we're not biased by the sound difference, and I'm going to mute that bass. And so let's listen. So first, you know, let's actually do it like this. We're going to put the human next to, so we had computer up, then we're going to do human up, and then we'll do computer Saba and human Saba. So let's first listen to this computer up and human up. Human. Computer. Human. So obviously they sound very different. One isn't better or worse than the other, and you can get in there, right? Like, I mean, the filter's obviously opening up quite a bit on that one, on these higher pitch or higher velocity notes. So you can get in there and dial them down if you needed to, if you wanted to sort of like, you know, something like this. And I could get in there with that editor to just select these and then bring the velocity down just by themselves. But I was feeling like that was a little squelchy, so let's see here. I'm gonna just record that again. Oops. One more time. Sometimes Cubase deletes the thing if it's in a loop. It's annoying. So it ends up being better just to do it that way and trim off. Okay, so let's set our gain to the same as everyone else. So there we go. I think that's a nice. Oh, that sounds good. Let me mute so closer, but how you doing, kiddo?
Good.
Yeah, it's a little bit more, so you can really kind of dial it in, you know. So I like that. It adds a real human element, even though it's still tightly quantized. like Psytrance needs to be. You get that velocity change. And, you know, you can do it manually, but this is, I mean, obviously this is long as I'm talking through it, but it's really fast to do. So let's quickly look at the Saba version. Same deal, and we'll just listen. So here's computer Saba. And human. We'll listen to all four of them real quick. The second half is a lot more like progressive trance to me than Psytrance, but they both do it. Anyway, so I hope you found this useful and fun. Thanks for watching. I know it was long, but hopefully informative, and love you guys, and talk to you later. Bye.